Hello, I'm Simon Calder, and if you were going around the world in alphabetical order, this is one of the last cities you'd reach. Zaragoza, an exotic name for an exciting city. Midway between Barcelona and Madrid, in the beautiful region of Aragon, and now firmly on the map, right there, thanks to Expo 2008, bringing the world to the city at the end of the alphabet. Getting your bearings in Zaragoza is easy. The heart of the city lies south of the river Ebro and is best accessed on the Puente de Piedra. There's been a stone bridge here for the last 2,000 years, which was when the Romans laid down the original street plan, parts of which are still followed today. And one of the grandest open spaces in Spain, the Plaza del Pilar, a bit like an airport runway with some beautiful buildings on either side. But there's also a tangle of lanes in the old town where it's possible to get deliciously lost. For once, I've decided to stay outside the city centre in the brand new Trip Hotel, close to the Expo site and with appropriately 21st century facilities. The beds have pillows big enough to eat you. And to give you an idea of how comfortable this place is, well, I'd be happy to sleep in the lobby. Time to explore. For a very different view, pay a couple of euros for the trip to the top of the North Tower of the Basilica de Nuestra Señora del Pilar, Zaragoza's mighty cathedral. Hang on, there's another one over there. And if I'm not very much mistaken, the person down there is going to be taking me for a hike.
Welcome to Zaragoza, Simon.
Well, thank you very much for taking me on a walk of the highlights. Tell me where we're heading first of all.
I think we're going to start with the second biggest church in Spain, the Basilica of Our Lady on the Pillar.
Now, Simon, this is the most important part of the whole church. It's the chapel of Our Lady on the Pillar. You see the small statue of Mary on the right and the purple coat, and the pillar is inside the silver which you see coming out beneath.
Can we actually touch the pillar?
Yes, we can, but we have to go to the back. Now you see, this is the only place where we can really touch and kiss the pillar.
And there's a strange smell as well.
Yes, it smells of roses, doesn't it? They say it's the perfume of the Virgin Mary, and it's a natural smell brought by the pillar.
Okay, Simon, so before we leave the square, there's one other building I want you to show. It's the Lonja, the old stock exchange, a Renaissance building and the first public building in Zaragoza.
This was a building built by the city. You see the coat of arms of Zaragoza, the lion of Zaragoza on all the cornerstones and on top of the pillars. Those are typical Aragonese Renaissance pillars.
Independence Avenue. It was built in the 19th century, following more or less the example of the French avenues.
Just a minute, Simon. I want you to show this beautiful Renaissance facade.
This is Santa Engracia Church. It used to be a hospital during the Independence War and was bombed by the French. But there's something else I want to show you, which is really the jewel of the Renaissance architecture here in Spain.
Ooh, okay.
You haven't seen the best yet.
Karen, it's been a lovely walk so far, but you brought me into a modern savings bank. Why?
It might be astonishing, but here we've got one of the jewels of the Aragonese Renaissance architecture. Got 14 paintings by Francisco de Goya, our local son and favorite painter. We consider him a son of the city because his whole family came from Zaragoza and lived in Zaragoza. It's a pity because nobody seems to find it, so we don't have too many visitors here.
It's time for lunch.
Yes, let's go. I'm hungry. Yeah. All right, Simon. Well, we'll finish our visit here. You wanted to go to lunch to a special place. I think you'll be very satisfied in here.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
Yeah, it's been nice to meet you.
Bye-bye, Karen.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
time.
La Migueria, the place to come for a quick, cheap and cheerful Aragonese lunch, where the speciality is migas, or breadcrumbs. Yes, drenched in olive oil.
Migas con uva, which is grapes.
Yes.
With longaniza.
Oh.
This is long sausage.
I might just have a glass of wine too. Muchas gracias. And all that for less than €7, about a fiver. From economy to first class, I'm off to the palace. A fleet of double-decker buses give you a tip-top, top-deck trip to all the main tourist sites, including this gorgeous 11th century palace which shows the strength of the Islamic heritage in Zaragoza. The Aljaferia, fabulous, a slice of North Africa in northern Spain. It was created for the Moorish king of Zaragoza in the 11th century, a man called Jafar, who called it his Palace of Joy. Even after the Christian reconquest of Spain, much of the palace was preserved. But Los Reyes Católicos, Ferdinand and Isabella, wanted to show who was now in charge, so they built their own palace on top of the Moorish original. And to top off your cultural afternoon, you should come here to the Troubadour's Tower, which of course was the setting for Verdi's opera Il Trovatore. Don't know about you, I've worked up an appetite like Plácido Domingo. The Spanish have given many great things to the world, but round about 8 in the evening, I always think that perhaps tapas is the greatest of them all. I've got some bacon and asparagus here. It's lovely. Buenas tardes. Absolutely delicious. The only problem is it's getting very crowded in here. There's just not much room. I think I'll try the place over there. Did I say mushroom? Well, here at La Cueva de Aragon, you can eat anything you like as long as it's champiñones. About the whole tapas business, it's extraordinary. Here we are, what, 9:30 in the evening now. We're just eating snacks. What's going on?
Well, what's going on here is that people are going out, trying to have a small bite before their dinner, get a drink, like you're having a wine, move on to the next bar, get another one, do this, 2 or 3 of them, and then go home and have a real supper.
10 o'clock, time for a real meal. After years of careful study, I've concluded a couple of things about Spanish restaurants. First of all, if it walks, swims or flies, you can probably order it. Secondly, if you're not that hungry, perhaps you've overdone it on the mushrooms, then a couple of starters will be absolutely fine. Oh, gracias. Ha! This, look at it, is a starter. This is huevos rotos, muchas gracias, which means broken eggs, and they have been, and they've been cooked beautifully, and they're on a bed of fried potatoes with some jamón ibérico on top. My goodness me, thank goodness I only ordered a starter. It's a tough life. Muchas gracias, señor. Hasta luego. But someone's got to do it. Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, another day, another cathedral. This is Liceo del Salvador, and I'm about to pay my respects. There's a variety of different styles here, but it's basically a 14th century Gothic cathedral commissioned by the lunar Pope Benedict XIII, who was born near here. To honour his city, he built this amazing structure, but he used Islamic craftsmen to do it. They were the best at the time. And the treats carry on outside as well. This is the beautiful northeastern facade.